Do you know who I am? I'm Karen Stacy. I have my own talk show. You can come to my talk show anytime. We have Coffee Talk with Karen every weekday at 11 a.m. And we have Real Talk with Karen Stacy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. It's not your mama's talk show. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. And let's have some fun, baby. You can find us on all social media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, and on MiamiMikeRadio.com. Testing. Is this mic working? You better believe it is. I'll see you guys soon.
All right, I guess I screwed that up. You said there was no sound. God damn it. All right, I tried. There was sound on my end. I was jamming over here. I was like, this is, and I'm dancing. I'm like, shit, I actually did it. I pressed the right buttons and I got stuff to work and I didn't. So testing. Is this mic working? Can you hear me now? Seriously, I really was so proud of myself that I did that, and I guess I didn't. So now I'll have to, you know what? I have no tech support. What could I tell you? All right, well, I really tried to make like a grand entrance for my guest by playing his music and the video first so we could see him and, you know, get the whole feel for it. And I totally shit the bed on that one. So my apologies. My tech people are on vacation. So anyway, I tried. So without further ado, I just want to say hi to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on Real Talk with Karen Stacy. We are live on MiamiMikeRadio.com. We're live on the Real Talk Coffee Talk group. We are live on the Karen Stacy page. We are live on YouTube and on Twitch, Real Talk Karen Stacy, and super duper excited because I have my new friend Jessee B, and he is backstage in the waiting for me here while I thought I was making a grand entrance for him, but it's all good because he's worth it anyway. So we're going to bring him out right now. So, like, you know, applause, applause. Here he comes. I really screwed that up, Jessee. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm jamming too. I'm like, this is my jam. I love this song. And I'm like, I'm not even looking at the comments because I have no idea what buttons I was supposed to press or whatever. And then I come back and I'm like, all right, I got it. It looks okay now. And I see no sound, no sound, no sound. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me right now. So sorry, I tried.
It's all right. I guess the question is can they hear us now?
I think so. Testing. That's why I did a testing. Is this mic working? I'm pretty sure they can hear us now. But yeah, that said no. A lot of people said no sound because I tried to play your video, and
Right.
I think that's where I screwed up. So thank you guys so much for telling me there was no sound. I apologize. I wasn't ignoring you. I was just pressing 16 other buttons and didn't see that I completely screwed that up. But you know, you got to see Jessee, you know, moving around a little bit, so it wasn't too bad. And if you guys are big fans, you were singing it while it was on, even though there was no volume.
Right, right. Well, we're here now. They hear us now, and we're happy to be here with all the fans. And thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. For anybody that doesn't know, which I'm sure pretty much everybody that's here knows, we got Jessee B on the show. And I have to say that, you know, I'm terrible when it comes to names and people and stuff. And I've met a lot of the freestyle artists over the years and stuff, but you know, I have not had the opportunity to meet you yet. You know, I heard your music and stuff, and I saw you did a show with Mr. Miami Mike.
Uh-huh.
And you did a live, and I like just wanted to hug you because you were such a sweetheart. You were videoing everybody, and it was just all like positive, and you had a big smile on your face. And not only were you like representing for yourself, but you were representing for all the people that were performing. So that struck me because a lot of people in the industry, we try to embrace people supporting one another. We don't always get to witness that. So as an outsider looking in that never met you before, I was like, oh my God, I love him. Like, I have to meet him. I have to talk to him. What a little doll he is. And I reached out to you and you answered me, which confirmed my suspicions that you were a nice guy. So, you know, thank you. And, you know, thank you for responding. And thank you also, you know, for sharing like that. I really, you know, I don't have to tell you, you know, probably a hell of a lot better than me that, you know, the business isn't always the most, supportive, right? Would that be the right word?
Yeah, yeah. I guess you're putting it
Nicely.
in lighter nicely. Yeah.
Nicely. I'm not known
Yeah.
for that either. So that was a stretch because there was a few other words I had at the tip of my tongue, but I didn't want to throw you under a bus. So I decided, you know, to go easy with that. But I mean, it's definitely a little tricky, right? Would we call it that?
Yeah. It's a little tricky at times, but you know what, Karen? We have the best fans in the world. And you know, that's the one thing that will always override all that other stuff. You know, it's always my pleasure to go live for the fans because you have a lot of people that can't afford to go to those kind of shows or don't live in the state that that concert is happening in, but
Very
just
true.
they're just huge fans of the music. And you know, you got people all the way from California to Canada, from Canada to Mexico that love this music, and they don't get to see us perform, and they don't get to see these wonderful artists on stage. So one of the blessings of Facebook is the live button. It can be a blessing and it could be also a cancer. But I try to utilize the live button in the best way possible, and that's for the fans so that they can come on and enjoy the music with me. Because as much as we love to perform on stage, we also wish they could be there with us.
Well, very well put, and I think that we learned that big time, over the past year and a half, right?
Yeah.
And the only way that we were able to unite was by pressing a button, because none of that was going on. But I myself was one of those grateful people because that's in Florida. I'm in New York. Miami Mike and I, our birthday is a day apart. Of course, he's younger than me, but so like in the past, he's come to New York, and we've had birthday bashes.
Hmm.
And he was in Florida, and obviously that was a place to be because it wasn't shut down, like we were.
Right.
So I really I wanted to see, because I wanted to see the show, I wanted to see the performances and stuff. And when you had it live, and I'm not sure how I found it, because we discovered like 3 days ago that we weren't friends on Facebook, so I don't even know how I found you, but I saw it and I was like, and from that point forward, I was like, I like this guy. What a sweetheart he is. So do me a favor. I always say this, and it's such like the heavy question. So my opening question to all my guests, are you ready? Because you have that look on your face like you're nervous. What am I going to ask you now?
No.
And now, my question, it's a hard question to answer. So the question is, who are you?
Well, my name is Jessee B, and I hail from Chicago, Illinois,
Okay.
and I've been a part of this music business since the late '80s and early '90s.
Okay.
Um, I used to be a part of a freestyle singing group out of Chicago that was called Legacy, and Legacy consisted of a few gentlemen along with myself. It went through its stages of changes along the years. I started out with a gentleman named Joel who had previously began the group with two other gentlemen. He had branched off on his own. He asked me if I would like to collaborate and join in with them in the group called Legacy. It used to be called Latin Legacy, but when him and I got together, we had decided to remove the Latin from it and just keep it Legacy. A few years down the line, Joel had wanted to test the waters in recording a solo album, and he veered off and was like, hey, I'm going to try to do this solo album. I wish them all the best. I came along, two other friends of mine, one named Juani, one named Javi, and they joined in on the group with me, and we took the group Legacy to the next level and the next heights that we can possibly take it to. Where in Chicago there's a radio station called B96 radio, B96 FM radio in Chicago. Back then it was called the Killer B, and we signed with a record company called DJ International Records, and the songs that we put out as a trio wound up getting added onto FM radio and in Chicago, Illinois, as well as many other states. And the group did really, really well for several years. We wound up touring around and doing many shows and putting out a few great records with the group Legacy. And as everybody knows, as the time went on, freestyle kind of took a turn, where it kind of just went away for a little while and people just went on to live their lives and do their own thing. And, in 2018, I started to see kind of like a resurgence in freestyle music in 2017, 2018. I started to see kind of like a resurgence in the music, and there was a few artists that had decided to, you know, test the water, so to speak, and try to jump into the ring and say, hey, you know what? We love this music that much that we're going to see what we can do to try to bring this back to the fans. Although freestyle music never left, because the legendary artists who paved the way for us, who I have nothing but respect for, because I'm old school like them. A lot of people think that Jessee B is a new artist, but I'm not. As I just explained, I've been in this since 88, 90. you know um A lot of those legendary artists had still been doing shows and still been performing, still putting on shows for a lot of the fans, but there wasn't any new music.
Right.
So I made the conscious decision. I prayed on it and I said, you know what, if this is what I'm meant to do, I'm going to do it. And it's always been a dream of mine to put out a solo album. So I decided to go ahead and get back into the ring and go into the studio back in 2018 and record new music. And I wound up coming out with my first single, which was called Without Your Love, which, thanks to the fans, they embraced it. And from that day forward in 2018, and with the producer Sal Medina, who worked on that record, Jessee B was born. And now you have what you see today, almost an album in, I'm almost done with it. And, countless records after, the fans have received me with open arms. And I can't thank them enough for that because they're helping me to live out a dream that I've always wanted to live. And, I've always said it, I'll say it a million times. Um, we are nothing, absolutely nothing without the fans and without people like yourself, Karen. So I can't thank them enough for allowing me to be blessed to have the opportunity to let them hear my voice and let them hear what I can do. And I can't thank them enough for accepting me.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what a non-cocky, grounded man. I mean, thank you. You're very humble because so many people, their reputations enter the room, before they do. And that's good or bad sometimes, right? So a lot of people get very cocky in the business and they think who they are, and they forget that the people that are paying their bills are those people, all of us. It's everybody that's listening to the albums, everybody that's paying for a ticket. Those are the people that keep the food on your table. And a lot of people that, they get fresh heads and they forget, where they come from. So, it's very humbling to be able to speak to somebody that, understands and values, and which I have to say, so many artists really do. They are like amazing. I happen to, Lisa was like a sister to me. She dated my brother for many years. And she is as humble and gracious as they come. And she is one of those people you were just mentioning that was still there paving the way, because it was like that freestyle mainstream, thing that was happening, right? Where she kind of, some people pushed up a little bit more and crossed over a little bit. And I think she's kind of one of, those people. But you know what I did want to ask you? Would anybody so I know we have a lot of freestyle freaks listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were with Journey, would anybody recognize the songs? Are you cool to mention them?
First of all, I would have loved to have been with Journey, but I was with the group called Legacy.
Oh, Legacy.
But listen,
I'm
by
on
all
a
means,
journey. What can I tell you? All right.
by all means, I would have traded that any day to be in Journey.
You know what? I got to tell you the truth. I'm a rockhead.
So am I.
First.
I love classic rock. Listen, that's why when you said it, I'm like, hell to the yeah, man. I would
That's
love
so
to.
funny.
Yeah, you know what, Karen?
Oops.
There's a lot of fans that know the music of Legacy from back in those days. It was on a lot of radio stations on FM, in certain cities. A lot of the DJs played the music everywhere. They're classic freestyle songs that everybody used to listen to back in the day on their cassettes and their
What are their
CDs.
names? What's the name of them?
There's a song that we had called Stay With Me Tonight, one called Girls Do It Just for Fun, one called The Time Is Right, and Stay With Me Tonight and Girls Do It Just for Fun are actually the two songs that went number one on that B96 FM station, so people can find the music on YouTube and stuff like that and see the old videos when I was this skinny, you know, young and had hair and everything, so so a lot of people do recognize it, and there's a lot of DJs that still support that old music, like Tim Spin and Shomer in Chicago, and all the way across to New York, like DJ Smiley and and Mike Torres and all the guys in New York City. They all continue to support the music, and then you make your way down to the West Coast, and you got DJs over there like DJ Miles and in Florida, Miami Mike and all them that play the old school legacy stuff that the fans can be very familiar with, even out in Texas, So, a lot of that stuff is very well recognized and very well respected in the old school freestyle genre, So I'm grateful for that, but and even more grateful just on how they recognize, my new music today.
Yeah, and I mean, what I see, I don't like. I mean, I don't know how can I? Am I allowed to ask you how old you are?
Sure. Yeah, I'm 49.
Okay, so I mean, I'm 51. So, I mean, my biggest issue with going out or doing something is I hate the music. Like, I want to hear our music. So, I love those DJs that play that because you know what? No disrespect to any of the DJs. We have a lot of amazing DJs out there, but the DJs that play a freestyle set and play the same 6 freestyle songs every single time. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are a few that belong in there because they're classics and all of that. But I like if you're really a freestyle freak or you're really like a music freak, you yearn for those kind of, songs. Like if somebody was like you're saying these DJs keep that music when you were with Journey, I mean Legacy, and they're playing, those songs like that makes you like, you hear a song like that and you're like, oh shit. Do you wait? No. Are they playing that? I was like 20 when that song came out, and it brings you back, to like those times. So I love the DJs that play, all of those like, gems, if you will, right? Because, that's what, I don't know, that's what makes my heart one of them. So, when you hear music like that and it brings you back, and I don't know, to me that's awesome. And even like you said with freestyle, I mean, it's circled back. And you guys are all, and there's new music now too.
Yeah, yeah. And it's definitely good to hear. That's a lot of people tend to like to go back to that place, back to their young days and just feel like, wow, like you said, I used to drive to this song down the strip, or, I remember being with all my girls or all my homies, and jamming out to this just classical,
Yep.
freestyle music that we all grew up on, So a lot of respect, to the people that are still on stage and performing these great records for everybody, and but today, we are all on a mission to bring great new freestyle music to the forefront of this genre, and hopefully, the fans will embrace it as they have been throughout this whole past year or two, to now make this new music what we feel like about the classic stuff, so
Yep.
that now when these songs are 10 and 20 years old, they're saying, Jesus Christ, my God, I remember that song that that this guy put out back in 2020. I remember driving down the strip with my girlfriends, bumping to This Is Life by Jessee B. So that's the mission that we're on today, and kudos out to all the artists that have stepped up, because there's been many since the day that I started, and early 2018, and said, hey, I'm going to jump in. And there was just a few artists that took the courage and jumped in the studio and said, you know what, man, hey man, let's go do this, and those artists are doing very, very well today, and they have brought a lot of music to the freestyle forefront. And now, I think that we have a variety of just great new freestyle music that, the fans can go on to the next 10, 20 years and say, hey, you know what, that is a great record. And I have that in my collection, and I love to play that song. And, as you can see, some of the promoters are saying, you know what, we want to see these people now, and they're starting to bring some of these acts into their cities, as you spoke of in Florida, where Miami Mike and them said, you know what, we're going to bring Cynthia, but you know what, we're also going to bring Jessee B, and you know what, we're also going to bring, whoever, onto
Yeah.
this stage and make a show out of it,
Yep.
and let the fans get the best of both worlds, and
Yep.
I think that that takes courage, and I think that that works well, and now I'm seeing it a lot more. I want to give a thank you to all the promoters that have me booked through the next few months, coming out to their cities and putting on shows. I'm just really, really grateful and humbled by it, because it shows that the hard work that we're doing in the studio is paying off and someone's listening.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Jesse, I hope that like 20 years from now, hopefully I don't need a walker or a cane, 20 years from now, but
You and me both.
maybe I'll be like dancing to it, with my girls, or I'll be dancing with my son where he'll be like, "Ma, enough with that music." But I'm hoping, maybe we could do like chair dancing. Well, actually, one of my last events, one of my people was chair dancing. I peed my pants, but I mean, you know, look, you got to do what you got to do. And 20 years from now, why not? Right? I mean, listen, look at some of these performers. Like, you have people like, trying to remember, like, the old school, like disco, like the classic disco. And then they'd have those things on like PBS. And they were all like 60 years old or better. And they
Hmm.
still blew every youngin's voice right out the window, because when
Yeah.
they sang, you were like, wow. And even at that age, they still had pipes. Um,
Yeah.
so, and that was a question I wanted to ask you. So wait, hold on. First, I just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Real Talk with Karen Stacy, live on MiamiMikeRadio.com. We are live on Facebook on the Karen Stacy page. We are live on the Real Talk Coffee Talk group. Make sure you guys join the group, join your friends, hit the thumbs up button on the Karen Stacy page. And then we are live on YouTube and Twitch, Real Talk Karen Stacy. Please feel free to share out the video for me. Sharing is caring. And today, this evening, we are so blessed to have Jessee B in the place to be. And so Jessee is a freestyle artist. And I wanted to ask you, so you said you've been doing this since like the 80s, 90s, which is
Mhm.
really about the time that freestyle was, really, coming about.
Mhm.
Now, so that means that you were probably in your 20s, correct?
Sure was.
So now how did the singing come about? Are you, where did you start singing?
I actually was a DJ prior to becoming a recording artist, and I used to just DJ a lot of the events that were happening in Chicago, Illinois. And as everybody who's from Chicago knows, Chicago is known for house music. You know, and house music and hip house music is what ruled the land in Chicago, Illinois. And I was a DJ DJing parties, and there was just something about um, the freestyle music that just resonated in me. Every time I would DJ at parties, I would get a lot of requests for some of the classic songs that used to be played back in the 80s, like Dancing on Fire by India, and
One of my favorites.
The Mexican by Jelly Bean, and some of the early TKA songs, Johnny O and all. I used to get a lot of requests for that, man, and I used to play that stuff back then. I used to sing a lot in church, when I was younger, and got some relatives that that love to sing a lot. My sister loves to sing a lot. It's just something. Music's just always kind of been something that's been heavy in our family.
Okay.
So one day I just decided, man, you know what, I'm gonna put the vinyl record down, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab this microphone and give this a shot. And like I said, meeting Joel back in the days, Joel Rodriguez back in the days in Indiana, he kind of gave the motivation for that, to get into recording and into the studio and everything like that. So it's just always been in my blood. It's just always been in my heart, and I've always been one of those guys where if someone tells me I can't, I'm going to show you I can, and that's just kind of the way I walk life. And I decided to go into the studio and record, and start recording music back in those days, and I was fortunate enough and blessed enough in 2018 to meet a young lady by the name of Dee Marie Harris, who is the CEO of DME Music, Dee Marie Entertainment. She took a chance on me and said, you know what, we're going to push your music. We're going to push everything about you. We're going to push everything that you do. And we're going to make you live out this dream that you have always wanted to do as a solo artist. Uh, it's definitely a plus that you came from the grounds of the legacy days, and I know that you have it in you to become a great artist. And when she took me on as management and as our label, our record label, went on to release my first single under that label, which was a song called Time Gone, that's produced by Julio Mena. And the rest was pretty much history as far as that goes, and now you're seeing songs like This Is Life produced by Josh JW, and I did a reggaeton song called Un Besito, and I just kind of felt to myself that if I do this and I put my whole heart into it and the fans accept it, then I think I can do this till I'm 70. I'm kidding.
We'll get you a designer, walker. That's what we'll do. We'll design it so it matches with your microphone. That's what we'll do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, listen, they say love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. So, why not? And now, see, is this, so now you said you DJ'd and then you got into the singing aspect. Music has
Mhm.
always been. So, like, is this what you do, or is there another, like, are you like jack of all trades? Do you have other careers as well, or this is
I,
your,
No, I still DJ. I have all the equipment here, and I still DJ. It's something that I love to do. It just kind of stays as a passion. And sometimes the fans will go live on my live, and they'll see me like on the turntables, and I'll just DJ a session for them over on Twitch or over on Instagram or something like that.
uh-huh.
And that's pretty much what I do, aside from the music and stuff like that. The pandemic took a very big hit on everybody. Thousands and thousands of jobs were lost and a lot of people suffered. We suffered a lot of losses in life. There was a lot of people in the music industry that we lost. There was a lot of people that lost family members. A lot of people don't know, but if they watch the video that you just showed,
Or
they'll
try
see.
to.
Yeah, they'll see that the song "This Is Life" was actually written about the COVID pandemic. So that's the song that I wrote last year that a lot of people weren't aware of if you're just listening to the song. But if you watch the music video, you'll see that it's written about the COVID pandemic. So I hope that a lot of the families are um, grieving well. I hope that a lot of the people that lost their jobs are coming around. Things are starting to open back up, and I hope that things get better for everyone. And my prayers to those that may have lost somebody.
I mean, this has been a crazy time, shall we say. I've been doing this show, Real Talk, for about 3.5 years now, and not this March, but last March, Miami Mike had updated some stuff on our server, and I had my own stuff, and he's like, "Listen, if nobody's live and you want to go on, go on."
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay. And I just started thinking, and I'm like, this pandemic comes, all of a sudden, schools are closed, um, you're everybody is like, no one is anywhere, right? You look outside, you think the end of the world has come. You don't see a car down a block. You know, I mean, and I was like, holy shit, like, what is going on? And I would wake up in the morning and not know what to do with myself because, okay, is this just for this week? You know, like, what are we doing? So I would get up and I would make my coffee and I would sit there and be like, uh, what the hell? And so I go, okay, let's start coffee talk. And that was how it started, because it was like, hi, is anybody out there? Are you scared? Because what the hell is going on? Like, you watch movies about this stuff, right? This don't happen. We don't live
Right.
through this stuff. And so now I'm sitting there. I got my kid at home who's, you know, learning on, you know, school. I have elderly in-laws that I have to worry about. I have a mom that isn't well in a home, and I have my father who's alone, right? So now you go into like a panic because, you know, now lockdown, we can't see my mother, you know, she can't speak, she can't take care of herself, we have no idea what's going on over there. You know, and we have all of these things happening, and I said, like, we all got to be like going through this, right? So that's when I started Coffee Talk, and we just talked every morning, had coffee together. Some of us are alone. Sometimes you just want somebody to have a cup of coffee with and not feel like you're by yourself, you know? And a lot of people got depressed. A lot of people lost, you know, loved ones. A lot of people self-medicated. You know, a lot of people are, you know, suffering from anxiety and depression in a bad way. A lot of people have gained a serious amount of weight, you know, from being home and not taking care of themselves, right? There are so many things that happen. People forgot what it felt like to hug somebody. People forgot what it felt like to laugh and smile and be with people, right? So like now, like my father keeps saying, it's like the roaring 20s now again, right? So now you see everybody, and I mean, like Florida, you know, like you were in Florida a couple of months ago, that was in April, right? So
Yeah.
Florida was kind of sort of already letting that stuff happen, not to the full extent, but they were doing it, right? And a
Right.
few of other places were, you know, doing it here and there, but for the most part, we were all grounded.
Yes, we were.
Now, how did that, like on a personal note, I just shared with you a little bit of personally how did it affect you on a personal and business level, you know, the pandemic?
Well, first of all, on a personal level, it definitely affected us hard. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, financially, it was a struggle for a lot of people. I had to worry also about my mom. I have a 72-year-old mom that her health is, you know, very, very shaky. You know, and you know, I'm praying that my mom stays healthy each and every day. So trying to protect the elderly was very, very rough. You know, opposed to then, you know, yourself trying to stay healthy also. um, you know, it took a toll on everybody, um, everybody, on the economy, on everybody financially, just on the way life was. And like you said, the streets were empty. You know, as you see in the music video, you know, there's scenes where I'm showing everybody the streets are empty. There's nobody out. What's going on? You know, nobody was prepared for anything like that. You know, and you know, the blessing of the whole thing with that whole thing is, you know, like people like you and some of these DJs online were keeping people entertained. I know there was a bunch of nonsense going on in other areas, but you know, we also had the blessing of having good people come on here and just trying to keep people entertained and keep people involved, or asking people if you need anyone, if you need someone to talk to,
Yeah.
you know, you can reach out. We'll be that support system for you if you're going through depression, if you're going through anxiety, if you're just going through stress. You know,
Yeah.
if you feel like you're scared or something, you know, there was always that good person you can reach out to.
Yep.
Um, as far as business wise, it definitely it took a hit on everybody in the music business, flat out. There was no concerts. There was, there was nothing you can do to earn in any kind of way unless you were selling some merchandise,
Yep.
unless you were putting out some CDs and putting some CDs out, which a lot of us artists did.
Yep.
People got smart. They did some online concerts, which didn't work out so well for most people,
Yeah.
but they did try and do some online concerts and just try to bring joy and happiness to the freestyle fans in our community. Um, it definitely took a toll. I seen tons of nightclubs close down. I
Yes.
seen a lot of best businesses go belly. It
Yes.
was really, really, really bad for a moment there.
Yes, and it's crazy because those businesses that shut down were like, people, when you own a business, everything you do, when everything you have goes into your business, okay? So
Hmm.
like, this is your, everything you do goes into your music. It goes into, that. So, people who have had businesses for decades, done.
Done.
Done. And it's
Hmm.
like, this is insignificant, but there's a place in Long Island. It used to be called Zachary's
Hmm.
back in the day. I'm talking a long time ago. Okay.
Hmm.
And now it was still in existence. So it was one of the only clubs that was still around in Long Island. And not sadly, the guy that promoted it, Rich Alino, may he rest in peace. We lost him to COVID, which really hit me hard. And they ended up closing this iconic, place down. So it's like, a friend of mine's like, oh, wait, well, let's go, and I go, everything's closed. There's no place to go. Like, you can't go back to some of these places because they couldn't keep the roof over their heads,
Right,
and it's
right.
really, it's crazy. And yes, some people got smart and they were able to do certain things, but it was really tough. So my question, and again, prayers and thoughts out to everyone, because this wasn't easy on anybody. Um,
No, no.
so how do you feel, Jessee? Do you feel like, do you see things differently now? Do you feel like people see things differently, that people are living their life on a different level now?
Yeah, Karen, life will never be the same again as we once knew it. Vaccine or no vaccine, it's never going to be the same. People are always going to have that fear. People are still, even now, they've opened up things in a lot of places, where if you're fully vaccinated, the mask is optional, but you'll still see them wearing the mask.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter from this point on. People are just going to always be very precautious about this whole thing. So, it's going to be the new way of life, and we're already used to it. Let's just say we are. And we could just gonna have to go on living life the best way that we can, and just try to be productive in any way that we can, and just be safe, and just be. I'll tell you one thing: we're all more cleaner than we were back then. You're just
Right.
like, for everything, it's like,
But what I've tried to get the take off from all of it, and what I was kind of, where I was going with the question is, I think after we've been through this, that I hope that it changed people in a good way. Like, in other words, like, when okay, so the gyms were closed, for instance, and now
yes,
I don't want to gain 600 pounds while I'm home. So now I got to figure out another way to stay in shape. So I, like, created this thing of mine that I was doing to try to do that. So now, even with the gyms open, I'm saying to myself, you know what? I'll save the money that I would be paying for a gym membership, because I'm cool with what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to continue with that. I started Coffee Talk because I had nothing else going on and wanted to be with people. But now I'm continuing with it, even though the world is back on, because it's a good thing. So what I'm hoping is that now, like, for instance, when you get to go out now, like, I hope people are seeing the beauty of life is what I'm saying. I think people took so much for granted, right? We take so much for granted. And until you go through things in life, you don't value the here and now. So
Hmm.
I'm hoping that people will go out now or live their lives in a more I don't even know what the right word is. In a better light. You know what I'm saying? So that now, like, we got concerts, we get events. Boom, let's go. Like, we're going. And learning to respect people's space where you're not on top of them. Not everybody wants you to be on top of them. Not everybody wants you to hug them. Not everybody wants you to kiss them. And I realize that, but to each his own. But I think that I'm hoping that maybe people grew and evolved a little bit more from this, and maybe
Yeah,
we've learned to be kinder, we've learned to be more grateful, we've learned to be you know happy for what
yeah,
we have as opposed to what we don't. So you're out there, right? You blew up again, right? So you're traveling, you're performing, right? Is that happening at this point?
it
So
sure is.
what does that look like right now?
Right now it looks promising. The like I said earlier, promoters are reaching out and they're bringing us into their cities. I got to give a shout out to 215 Entertainment, Jersey Jimmy, New Jersey's bringing me on the 24th of July. Then out in Chicago with Bobby Styles, I'll be in Chicago performing there, and then in Detroit with Lit Entertainment, the 6th through the 9th. And then I go on to Florida to Port St. Lucie with the Mas Musica Entertainment. Shout out to those people. They're bringing myself and a bunch of other great artists out to perform, and they're saying, "Hey, come to our city. We want you here. We want to give you guys this experience again. We want you guys to feel normal again. So come out and hang out with us, and don't be afraid. Because we can't live our lives like that. Karen, it was bad. I mean, politics didn't help either
Dude,
last year. Oh my God. And I don't even like to talk about that stuff, but put that together with the pandemic and forget it. It was just a mess, but now we've moved past it all, and everybody's now getting back grounded and getting focused again, and getting back to just their everyday routine and their everyday lives, and big ups to the world, and big ups to the fans for being strong and surviving that whole thing, and just fighting through the whole ordeal, and I wish the best to everybody. I've always wished the best for everyone. And like I said, prayers to those families that are getting back on their feet. And I hope that everybody moves on well. Some people may not ever move on well, but just try to do the best that you can. Because we're well, we definitely care. You know what I mean? Even if we don't know you, you might not think that we don't care, but we definitely care.
well, so now you're doing shows now, you're traveling again. So what does that look like? Meaning, like, what are the airports when you're traveling? Are people kind to one another? Are they respectful to one another? Do you feel like it's just business as usual now? People are miserable when you go to the shows and you get to see the fans and everything. I mean, is there a different energy now than maybe in the past?
Yeah, there is a different energy. The airports are definitely a lot more packed. I mean, there was a point in time where I traveled once um, to do a show because they were allowed to have 50% of the
Yeah,
audience there. The airport was completely empty. Like I walked through TSA, like if I was walking down the street, and that never happens.
right.
So, but now fast forward to today and it's back to chaos, back to packed airports, and the airlines are still enforcing the masks and everything like that. And but the concerts are fun. The concerts, they're very, 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 very packed and everything. I just did a show out in Chicago, a Julian Jumping Perez event. I did a couple of shows at a smaller place called Time After Time, and the fans came out and they were there and they had a blast. and they just enjoyed it. They were just happy to somewhat have a normalcy. That's the word, right? Normalcy.
I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, so I think they were just excited about that, so um, things are slowly but surely getting back on pace.
Yeah, because right, back to normal wouldn't be the right word, but yeah, on pace would definitely be. So what would you say if I said to you, what did you learn from from this, like this past year and a half of the world coming to an end? What did Jesse learn?
Well, I learned that for one, be grateful for life, you know, uh, be grateful for the things that you have that others may not have. Um, Respect the business, because there are a lot of people in this genre that do not respect the business, that do not respect the genre,
Real
you
talk.
know, and just keep your mouth shut and speak with your talent, and that's all. You don't always have to have an answer for something that doesn't need to be answered. You can display that with your skill, and the people will follow you and they'll respect you much more for that.
Amen to what you just said. It's the road less traveled, um, but I get up every day and I try to, put that message out in different ways. But it is
Mhm.
very, very true because, you just keep it moving, keep your eye on the prize, stay in your lane. And, people want to engage, they want to provoke, because you get somebody in the business, right? And they're pressing your button. And now the first thing that's going to happen after they press your button for the past like umpteen times where you finally snap, the minute you snap, boom, right on video. Look, see how Jessee B, he ain't all that. See how he is. See how he acts. See how right? Because they're not going to show you what happened the 57,000 times before that it happened. But they're right there and they're ready to see it because the one time that you reach that point and you might, come out of character for yourself, boom, somebody's all over it and they want to trash you. So it is very difficult, and a lot of people that are watching right now may not even be aware of the trials and tribulations that take place. Because look, we got Jessee B. We all know I got it. Some of you guys don't know me, but I got a big mouth and I say it like it is. But I stay in my lane. I don't mess with nobody. I don't talk about anybody. I don't do any of that. And I stay in my lane and I stay over here because I don't want just, I don't want to be put in a position like that. So for anybody that doesn't understand and know that, you see Jesse, look at him. He's a sweetheart. Like I would hug him right now if he was in front of me. He's just, you have that way about you, right? But we all have a backbone, right? So you get pushed to a certain point and people intentionally try to sabotage you.
Mhm.
It is not easy to take that road less traveled.
I
So
understand.
I know.
Yeah, I understand. And you know what? That can be truth for a lot of people. I just think that if you carry yourself with respect, I think the people will respect you. And just do your best at what you do. And I know that sometimes it's difficult and you can't control what another person is going to do, but you can control what you're going to do. And only you and what the path is set, in your future, and what you got destined for you. And if the fans truly believe in you, if your friends truly believe in you, if your family truly believe in you, then they're going to be behind you no matter what. It doesn't matter what anybody has to say, or anybody, or what they feel, or how they look at you in any kind of sense. I have respect for everybody in this business. I respect every artist. I respect every producer, every DJ, every on-air DJ. Doesn't matter who they are. If you treat me with respect, I'll treat you with respect in return, and that's just how I look at it. And if you don't, and I don't like the way Jessee B sings. It's as easy as pushing a button and saying I don't want to see him anymore,
Yeah.
and so be it.
Yeah.
That's the right that you have as a citizen of the United States of America. So I guess,
It's
so
funny that you say that because I spoke about all of this today at Coffee Talk. It's hysterical that you said it. I said exactly the same thing. If you don't like what somebody is saying, turn them off. The news comes on and all they're doing is telling you about doom and gloom and, oh, there's a new variant now. So before you think that life is going to go back to normal, but wait, there's more, so that they terrorize us to stay home. So what do? Change the channel. I'd rather watch the Home Shopping Network, because change the channel. So
yeah,
I get it, and everybody, everybody doesn't have to like everybody, but in my opinion, everybody should respect everybody. So you can respect somebody and not, and what? That's great. That's not my thing or whatever. Perfect.
yeah,
But I
exactly.
talked the same thing today, and I said, you cannot control others. You can only control your reaction to others, right? So I said that it's just funny that, this just followed up. I know you didn't see the show today, and this was exactly what I was talking about earlier, because sometimes, though, we need a reminder of that, right? Because sometimes there are so many people that are doing it differently.
Hmm.
Right? So when you have positive people in the same network,
Hmm.
it's easy. I respect you, you respect me. We have a great time. But
Right.
it's not always that way. And that's in general. It has nothing to do with just the business. It's anything, right? I mean,
Right.
families aren't respectful to one another for certain
Hmm.
things. Friends aren't respectful to one another for certain things. So it goes full, goes full circle. But I think that also, I don't know if you feel this way or not, but when you're in the public eye, I think that it's also, it's not like a civic duty or anything, but I always feel like if you can show somebody there might be a different way to go about things, and it might be a better way to go about things, then you are, a good role model, if you will, right? So your fans, you have people that follow you, you have people that love you. And you know what? The way you carry yourself, which is, I mean, I know you've done a lot of shows and stuff, but that's why I love having people on, because I want people to see the real person. They can see you and hear you sing, but they don't know who you are. So it's nice that you can say, you know what? I love that music, but like that guy is a stand-up guy. He was very respectful. Did you see the way he spoke? Did you see the things that he said? And that to me sends just as big of a message out as the music.
Right. You're absolutely right about that. And there are a lot of artists like that that are out there. There are a lot of individuals that are out there that carry themselves that way. And if the fans or the people haven't met them, someday you'll have them on the show and they'll get to spend time with them. Because like you said, they know the artist for their music and what they sing and just how their voice sounds and everything, but they never get like a one-on-one with them or anything like that. So, I wish you all the best, Karen, with your show. And I hope that, many other artists come on here and get to speak to the fans and just relate and kind of just get on a one-on-one level with them all and just kind of touch base with things that are reality and not imaginary.
Right. Well, thank you for saying that. But you have like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but I feel energy and stuff. And like I love your voice. Like I could probably listen to your voice like all night. Like there's something, I really do. I love your voice. I love the way, like just, you're so calm. And even like when we were having some technical issues earlier and I'm like, we're reading the things, then you call me and you're like, okay, no worries. I think we got this. Do it this way. And I'm like, you are so freaking calm. Like, I love this. I'm ready to like throw the phone across the room. I'm ready to computer. And you're like, we got it. But just for the future, if this happens, this is probably the reason why. And I was like, oh, okay. When normally I would be like, mother, and I'm throwing the phone. Look, I played a video. I had no goddamn sound. This is my life. And here I get on and every day and I'm talking about positivity and yes, take the high road. And I'm over there ready to shoot myself in the head because my anxiety goes through the roof from 0 to 60. And you're like, yeah, we'll just hit that and we'll be good, but listen, I love it. And that's why I love people, because we all, everybody brings something different out of somebody else, right? So, it's if you're with somebody that's all business, then you're going to kind of go to all business. If you're somebody, me, like I clown around a little bit and I say stupid things, or whatever. And I want people to feel comfortable. And it's real talk. So I want people to be real. I told you when we spoke on the phone, I said, I'm not a journalist. I'm not interviewing you. We're talking. And, I'm not throwing you under the bus or nothing. Don't get me wrong, because a lot of people hear real talk and they think they're getting thrown under the bus. So the only way you get thrown under the bus is if all your dirty laundry is under the bus and you got to go hide it. Otherwise, why is being real like when somebody is speaking real, like you and I are speaking real right now, is anybody getting thrown under a bus?
No, you've made it very comfortable.
Well, thank you. But I'm just saying that I wish people would understand that being real doesn't mean something bad.
True.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, because they're, the truth. Oh, God. She's going to, like, why does everybody have to be afraid of what's real? I'm afraid of what's not real. Right. I would be more upset if after this, you and I spoke and I have this impression about you, and then all of a sudden I find out that you're like an axe murderer, in somewhere. I would be like, oh my God, but I like, don't you? I think that just people want to see the real you. And so like oh my God, Jessee B. So now doesn't everybody feel good that they see like Jessee B is really that awesome, right? I mean, it's a cool thing and you're not even trying. You're just like chilling. You got your little sexy voice going. And
oh my God.
Thank God we can't see blushing.
Far from sexy. Trust me.
Oh, shush up. You know what? I can say right now, you think you're far from sexy? Ladies, and whoever
No.
Tell me that this man's voice is not sexy. And I'm looking at the comments. And don't get, guys, I'm sorry we haven't read the comments, but obviously I'm talking and now he's turned purple. So now I need to know, am I wrong? Look, he's like, that's it, I gotta go. My computer just died, the phone's off, I don't know what just happened. Listen, it's just my opinion, and it is what it is. But let me see. Is anybody? See, here we go. They're coming in, sexy. Come on, man.
I can't see none of the comments here, so I'm glad.
I'll read them to you, Jessee. How about that? We got. Oh, he's sexy. Yes, he is. Yes. Okay. Where else? Jessee. Oh, God damn it. See, the comments are going so fast I can't even read them because they're jumping off the screen. That's how sexy you are. And then we got a smooth. Yes, sexy voice. See? Thank you, Marisol. See, I ain't by myself here. Guilty as charged, Franny Fran. Sexy and I know it, Cheryl said. Let me see. I'm just, listen, I just call it like it is. I can't help it if I gotta say it, but I call it like it is. And you know what? It's all good. Believe it or not, there are men that find my voice sexy. I mean, they're few and far between now. People would say to my husband, how do you deal with her voice? And he's like, what do you mean? That's when you know somebody really loves you. See, everybody's saying it. Oh, and now they want you to sing in the sexy voice too.
Oh my God. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you to all the fans in the chat room. Thank you for joining in with us. I know that a lot of our family and friends are in there right now, and I'm grateful for you guys coming in and hanging out with me and Karen. This is very special. It's a special night. I appreciate you calling on me to come on the show. So big ups to everybody. I appreciate the compliments. Thank you very much.
He's like, okay, I gotta go now. If she says one more thing about my voice being sexy, I gotta go. I think I gotta go wash my cat. I'll be back. Listen, it's all good. We gotta laugh and we gotta have fun. I am
Of
so
course.
very tired of like having an elephant on my chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like we just have to like laugh and be fun. And I just, I address the pink elephant in the room. There
of
is
course.
not everybody that's watching knows you got a sexy voice. So I had to say something. Okay. I just did, but we're over that now. But anyway, so now do you want to tell everybody, do you have a rundown of your schedule, like your calendar, so that if people want to see you, how they can find you or see you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. If anybody wants to attend any of the concerts that I mentioned in New Jersey, Detroit, Chicago, Florida, DMarieEntertainment.com, or go to Jessee B Music on Facebook and you'll see all the flyers. I mentioned all of the promoters that are doing the shows. The flyers are out. Any merchandise or any music. My latest single, Lost in the Music, produced by D Mike. That's available also on all digital outlets, as well as all my other singles. You can get all that stuff on all digital outlets. Any merchandise, any questions or bookings, D. Marie Harris over at dmarieentertainment.com. And we will definitely get back to you for any kind of bookings or anything merchandise or any information that you might want to know about Jessee B.
Yeah, and it is huge. We spoke about this. I've spoken about this with other people that have come on the show as well. The service industry, the entertainment industry has taken a humongous hit during this pandemic. I had somebody on a couple of weeks ago that's a bartender, and so many people, bartenders, DJs, artists. Unfortunately, there was a lot of nothing going on for a long period of time. So you know what? If you love your the music, if you love the people, can you please support? Every little bit helps. If you love Jessee, get a shirt. We make merchandise. He makes music. It's important to support because everybody is still making their way back out of the hole right now.
Yeah.
So many people got stuck in the hole. So if you're out and your bartender makes you a good drink, throw them a couple extra dollars if you have it. A lot of us are not in a position right now, and I totally get that. But, every little bit helps. So, if you love Jesse's song that I played in the intro with no volume,
Yeah.
you get that. No, every little bit helps. So, support, get the albums. If you can't make it to the shows, get a shirt. Get this. How do we sell music now? I was going to say CD. I don't even think, do we do that anymore?
Yeah. Well, artists still put out CDs. I still put out CDs, but everything's on digital outlet, iTunes, Apple, Spotify. Which, by the way, you're mentioning CDs and stuff like that. I would like everybody to support my label mate, Diddle D. Got a new single. Back Over to You is featuring your boy Jessee B. It's going to be on CD and it's available on all digital outlet. DME Music, stand up. Go support Back Over to You by Diddle D, everybody.
There you go. Well, you know what? One hand always washes the other. So, it's all about support. And even guys, if you can't do that if you see Jessee and there's a live or something, share it. You know, I say that to all of my fans as well. You know what? Every person that comments, every person that tags a friend, every person that shares, you make a difference. So, you know, everybody can do something. It doesn't have to always be about money, right? I mean, it's support, and it's just, you know, to me, my thing is I just want everybody to, I just want to laugh. I just want everybody to laugh and have a good time. You know, I did a couple of events, and maybe one time when you're in the New York area, I can maybe get you into one of them. You know, we just had it was so much fun to laugh, you know, and I miss that. So, you know, thank you for making us laugh. Thank you for continuing to do your music and keeping us dancing, because let me tell you something, I'm going to be straight up with you. My exercise routine, one of the ones, I have a hill right beside me, right? And I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing that hill. So I started doing the hill. I did it like 3 times, and I worked up to 4, then I worked up to 5, then I worked up to running. And I have to tell you that when I'm walking down my hill to go to that hill, I'm like, oh, I don't want to freaking do this, right? So I got the headphones on, and what song do you think came on?
Jessee B song.
Yes. This
uh,
is life. And I blasted that right in my ears. And I was like, I fucking love this song. And, you know, and I'm going to be honest with you. I never know who sings nothing. I knew it was new. I knew I had never heard it before. And I'm like, and I have it. I saved it because I love the song. But now, and then I put all the pieces together, as, you know, I saw you and this and that and the other. And so thank you, because that music got my fat ass up that hill and back down again. So never underestimate the power of music.
Music. Wow. And I'm humbled to hear that happened. Wow. I'm grateful.
No,
You know?
I'm telling you, and I look like a lunatic. People see me going up, I'm like, and I'm dancing, I'm doing like some crazy, and people looking at me like, you know, thank God it's not like a really, you know, like busy road, but I'm like a nut because I got the music in, and I'm like dancing my ass up the hill, you know, trying to tell myself that I'm enjoying this, you know, but. So for those of you that don't like exercising, get Jessee's music, throw it on your headphones, and it'll make like that 20 minutes go by that fast, or whatever amount of time it is.
Awesome.
I want to say thank you for coming on. I think you are a total doll. I do love your voice. You know, if I was to be able to meet you, I'm telling you right now that when I do meet you, just be prepared, because I'm going to hug you. Like hug it out hug, like not like no, like I'm gonna hug you, because you're just a very huggable kind of guy. That's just my opinion. So I really do appreciate you coming on. You know, I want everybody to support, so make sure that you guys go and get some of his music, go see some of his shows. Hopefully maybe in Jersey, Carmela, maybe we can make it to that show, because you'll be in well, it's not our neck of the woods, but it's closer to us, because you'll be close to New York. So maybe, and you said that's the one with Jersey Jimmy, right?
Yeah, the 215 Entertainment, Jersey Jimmy, that's those guys over there. I'll be performing live in Jersey with Luis Caveras, Joseph Staub, and Rebecca. And DJing is DJ Dan One and DJ Rockstar for that specific event in New Jersey.
Yeah, because Jersey Jimmy was on the show, and he also came to my first event. And Jimmy's another one. What a doll he is. He's another hugger. I hugged him up too.
Jimmy's awesome. Jimmy's amazing.
It's nice to meet good people. You know, that's what I got to say. So make sure you support the shows. Buy Jessee's music. Make sure you support our show. Jump on the Real Talk Coffee Talk group. Jump on the Karen Stacy page. Click all those buttons and subscribe, so you guys can tune in and not miss any shows. And hopefully I'll have you back on again.
It would be my pleasure.
Maybe I could have you on. We could have coffee together one morning.
That would be amazing.
We'll do coffee talk. And then during coffee talk, what we do is we pay attention to all of the comments. So we talk a little bit and then we answer the questions to all the people that are on the comments. So
That's different. Wow.
yeah, that's what we do. It's like being, I don't know how you grew up, but like I always talk about this. We would all sit down at the table together in the morning, you know, with my dad, my mom, my brother, and like on a Sunday, we'd have like bagels or whatever, right? And we'd all have, remember the newspaper, those back in the yonder days, they used to print those things. And everybody would take a section and just sit there and we'd all kind of like see an article and then you'd talk about the article. So that's kind of like what I do on Coffee Talk, except there's no newspaper and there's no article, but we just talk about random, you know, stuff like that. So it'll be fun. We'll have coffee together. We'll, you know, we start off in one direction and I'll end up like in an entire other direction, but it's all of our listeners, our little family, and we all have coffee together. So I'll hold you to that. I don't know. I know your schedule is a little crazy. So maybe we'll try to coordinate and see what morning. It's 11 a.m. So, and are you on same time frame as are you on Eastern Standard Time? I don't even know where you are.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm on Eastern Time. Yeah.
Okay. So then that makes it a little bit easier. So we'll have a coffee date. How about you guys? Does that sound good? We'll have coffee with Jessee. Jessee, do you drink coffee?
I love coffee.
Okay. Because I got nervous there. I was going to say, you know, like you were going to tell me you had to have tea. I don't know how I was going to feel. No, I'm only kidding. It's all good. It's all good. We had Los on last week, and you know Los is a huge Bustelo guy.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bustelo is, I remember, so when I grew up, most of my close friends were Puerto Rican. And their mothers made café con leche with the sock.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Lisa, she always made café con leche with the sock.
Mm-hmm.
You drink that, and not only am I up and down the hill 16 times, but you're flying, right? I mean, you drink a good cup of café con leche, and your feet don't hit the ground for at least 3 hours. I haven't had a good cup of coffee like that, though, in a long time. Now that I'm thinking about that.
Definitely
you make it strong? You make it like rocket fuel? How do you make your coffee?
You know, I like mine with, you know, with the whole cream and sugar, you know, deal, you know, milk and sugar, whatever, you know, so I definitely like it sweet, you know, that's just how I am. I'm not the John Wayne type. Thank you.
Like you light and sweet. All right. So we have a coffee date then.
Definitely.
We'll figure it out. We'll let all the fans know when we're going to have coffee together. So again, I want to say thank you so much, Jessee. You are a sweetheart. It was my pleasure to have you on today. And I look forward to having coffee with you in the near future.
Yes, for sure. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate the invitation. And thank you to all the fans that are in the chat room. I'm sorry if I didn't get to see. This is a different kind of system here. But hello to everybody that's in there. And thank you for coming. You know, I know my fans came to support this show tonight. So I'm grateful that they're all here. And thank you, Karen. Thank you for having me. I look forward to seeing you again. And hopefully you make it to the show in New Jersey.
I'm going to do my best. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you, my love. I'll see you soon.
Bye, guys. Bye, everyone.
What a sweetheart. Okay, so listen, for anybody that tuned in tonight that is not one of my regular listeners, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. We do Real Talk with Karen Stacy every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. And we do Coffee Talk with Karen 11 a.m. Monday through Friday. So please make sure you hit those like subscribe buttons, go to the Karen Stacy page, go to the Real Talk Coffee Talk group, join the group, and become part of our family. I mean, listen, that's what we do. 11 a.m., we have coffee together, you guys. Even if you got to put the headphones in because you're supposed to be working or paying attention to your children, whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, put me in your ear. I talk low. My voice doesn't carry, so nobody will hear you. No, I'm kidding. So, just join us. That's what we're here for. This is a judgment-free zone. We're all about love and support. I am sorry I did not read the comments today. You guys, that's why I do my morning show, so I can interact with you guys. Please don't take it anyway. We appreciate you being here. And I will try to look at all the comments afterwards, but please don't think that we ignored you. We know you are here, and we are so grateful. And I'm so grateful for Jessee for coming on the show tonight. He is really a doll with a sexy motherfucking voice. So I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh my God, tomorrow's hump day. Whoop, whoop. I'll see you tomorrow for hump day. And remember my rule. If you guys get humped tomorrow, you need to scream out my name 3 times. So that's a Karen, Karen, Karen. Because if I ain't getting it, at least you are. And that'll make me feel better. Because if you scream out my name and I feel good, I'll know that one of you listened to my request. I love you guys, and I thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Ciao.
Yeah, baby. If you missed our last 2 events, you missed a lot of fun with great people that know how to party.
Go, girl. Go, mama.
Nothing better than the old school, mature crowd making new friends, making new memories, and living life as it's meant to be. Together, having fun, and enjoying ourselves. My name is Karen Stacy, and I have my own talk show.
Check dancing for the elderly. Check dancing. I fucking can.
Make sure you tune into my talk show, Coffee Talk with Karen, weekdays at 11 a.m. And make sure you tune into Real Talk with Karen Stacy, Tuesday evenings. You can find me on all social media platforms. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. You can find me on all podcast platforms as well. So we keep it old school. We have fun, and it's great people meeting great people. Let's spread some love and light in this world and get back to living again. I can't wait to see you guys soon. Made so many great memories, so many new friends. I don't know. It's freaking awesome, man. So I will see you guys really, 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 really soon. Don't forget to tune in. I love you. Bye.